Alright guys, welcome back into another sort of early daily recap. What I'm going to see is, I'm going to talk about price action of today, about gold, euro dollar mainly, and a little bit of Bitcoin, but not too much today. Wasn't really nice. I mean, we can see that the price kept a bearish movement, but not the prettiest to trade on the 1 minute. As you can see, was very choppy. During London session, yes, it moved below the price area, the PPLs, the USPSA, but unless you catch really early, it was not the cleanest price action movement of all the time. As you can see, even to do 30 pips, it will take sort of 40 minutes, not the cleanest price action. Huge liquidity grab here, went up for like 45 pips in a lot, like 1 hour and a half, kept ranging, keeping an overall bearish outlook. As you can see, this is more of the late New York, later London, start of New York price action. But as you can see, not the easiest, not the cleanest price action to trade, in my opinion. Maybe it was just for today, but I was not feeling good trading Bitcoin today. So what I did was working on euro dollar more or less, mainly, and gold. I was looking at them. Okay, as you can see also, I know that I was on the charts, but I was not in the mood of taking trades. I was not in the right mental state. That's why I didn't take advantage of these trades, even though I was looking at them. I was not looking at them. I was looking at the charts, but I was looking kind of in a retrospective. So I was in a sort of FOMO mental state, not an active mental state. Of course, if I was in a nice mental state, I would have seen this rejection. Now, just a few minutes ago, a clean breaker retest of our PSA, and when the price moved below our PPL, as you can see, also breaking below this PSA, we would have already been in huge profits, 37 pips. But I was not in the right mental state, and I will explain why. So, this morning, during New York, I didn't take any trade. As you can see, London session, the start of London session, I only did like from 8:30 till 9:30. Was not the cleanest. Actually was around here when I left, and it gave a nice opportunity. Of course, we were in a bearish bias after these rejections and after this candle setup. This is where, if I was in front of the chart, I would have entered, or maybe possibly entered, maybe here with some more conviction. But I mean, I would have need to use 15 pips stop loss, even more, based on the price action and how far away it was from our PSA. This one was the premium entry that would have given us really good profits overall. Price kept going bearish until, let me just delete this, until found sort of support at our PSA at 1810. A lot of bounces, stayed slow but steady, higher lows being printed, higher highs, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher highs, and giving us a possible opportunity here. Of course, very aggressive movement afterwards. So I was not even on the chart here, but as a backtesting, this is what we can identify as a price action. Clean and very strong breaker of the key level, 1812.5. Retests, multiple retests of the area. Here we are right 15 minutes before New York open, and I would say that since we at this point, at this stage, we recognize that the price sensitivity area is not in this moment the PPL itself, but it will be this price level. I can see absolutely this candle being a very good signal to enter long. Why? We are in a bullish trend. We have a break, a retest. Yes, it's sort of an hazard because we had this strong rejection. But where is this coming from? This is coming from another higher high being printed. So this is just consolidation. And we never broke below the previous higher low. So that's why this is, for me, it's a very good entry. And as you can see, with 15 pips stop loss, because of course the maybe 10 would be, I mean, if we consider this as a PSA, this 10 would have been fine, because we would exit when the candle closed below 1812.8, not 1812.5. So it will be fair enough. It will reach 30 pips in a just but a little bit. Maybe with the spread it will not get there, but you can exit manually, of course. And of course, as well, if it was a 15 pips, this would have been taken the partials. What we see afterwards is when we can see and confirm this short bias. I mean, it's been very volatile gold today, still printing higher lows, but okay. This is of course a strong PSA. We already know it. It's charted for a reason. There you go. Okay. Very good. Okay. So we see a strong rejection and we see very aggressive movement below. I'm not in a bearish bias here. I'm not in a bearish bias here, but I have to be in a bearish bias when we have candle closures strongly below either our previous PSA and even more our key level and our key level and PPL 1812.5. So we have this strong confirmation. We are in a bearish bias. We close aggressively. We know that even if we take and enter here, just to get to our this is New York. Sorry. Already to get to the previous lows, it's 20 pips. We know that gold does some sort of overshoot almost always. So we know that we have a fair enough range, especially if we enter here. I said we enter here because it's our usual strong candle that close below our PPL, and that where we place a sell limit in the halfway between the level of interest and the candle closure. So this will be activated, and 30 pips, as you can see, it will be just as a little overshoot. It will be just to get to those lows. As you can see, even if we use 10, 30 pips, because I mean, at the time, using a 15 pips, it's a lot. We can even use a smaller stop loss. But as you can see, the volume during New York was very strong, very high volume. And as you can see, we have a clean, price never reaches above the key level again, and just melts down again. This is where I came to the chart doing New York open, and what I saw was exactly this. So I identified that I missed all this huge move. I identified that we were creating flag over here. We had this PSA. So we identified this flag, but this flag can go either way, can go up or down. So it's important to identify a wedge or a flag for this reason. When I saw the candle moving so aggressively up, what I did was placing a sell limit, as I just told you, like around here. I don't even know what was the exact level. Was probably over here. He never got activated for like 2 pips. 2 pips. So it was slightly below. Never got activated, and I just saw price moving up very aggressively and do like 100 pips move from my entry point, but I didn't get the trigger on my order. As you can see, this is a very short week. It could have gone a little bit more and then go up, but it is what it is. Afterwards, of course, we saw the price going against, still printing low highs, but doing a wedge against 1820, PPL and key level. But as you can see, after this wedge being printed, it's not always that the price is going up. It can also mean that it's going down. So what we had to see is that we identify this movement, and this was an entry that I missed because I was not looking at the chart. But as you can see, this is a nice entry, an entry when the candle at the candle close here is a very nice candle. Enter the candle close and it goes to 45 pips straight away. Very easy counter trend. But after identifying this wedge, we have this strong support resistance here. We identify a breaker retest below the previous lows, the previous PPL. So whatever it is, we identify, and we want to take advantage of the momentum of this price action. There you go. Afterwards, I stopped looking at the chart after New York Stock Exchange open. I saw that the price was in a sort of consolidation, was messy, was not trending, was not following a structured market. So I left the chart and I just came on back now. So what I saw was that the price rejected again 1812.5, as you can see, and went strongly up. After that, rejected again this PSA 1820, which I now deleted. So let me because it's a key level, and went down again, made a new higher low and broke and retested 1815.5. As you can see, it's not a PPL, this is a higher time frame area. As you can see here, if you entered, you never had any issue, you only had single partials taken, as you can see, never a closure below your level, so just going to profit. And as you can see, low volume, but price never breaking above 1820. And just now, as I just told you, very strong bearish move. Catching it here will be super high risk. Compared to the previous level, to the previous candles, this is a strong price action. But of course, this is mostly hindsight, because I mean, it's not the cleanest price action. The price can still easily bounce from this level. So it would be very much, I mean, you have to have the confidence to do it. What was much cleaner was this entry. Also, this pin bar is not bad, but I'm not liking the price action right now. And also, I don't want to enter with the FOMO just because of FOMO. And let's go on EuroDollar. As you can see, London session, probably my mistake. As you can see, this is all pre-London coming from the Asian session. Look at the price action. Yes, we are moving up, but what is the first thing you see is that the price is going sideways. It's not trending as much as you want, as you would like, as you know that the price do. So probably I'm not good for trading London session and London Open and pre-London especially. This one was pre-London and London Open. And what I did was I saw this price candle very strong, and I placed, let's say like this, Okay, it's taking its time. Okay, and we connected. No, this is later on. Okay, let's go back here. Okay, so as you can see, this is quite a strong movement. I mean, the volume is coming in. We are breaking after retesting. This is one of the things that I was seeing. We are in a bullish trend. We are breaking and retesting after this movement, rejecting this PSA multiple times. And I entered a sell limit, a buy limit at midway of this level. As you know, as I showed you on gold as well, this is quite of a nice for me entry. If it gets triggered, sometimes on gold it doesn't, and it goes 100 pips move without you, but it's fine. And what happened was that the candle, of course, activated my stop loss. The very next candle closed, as you can see, below my level. As you know, my rules are this. I should have got out with 1.6 pips of loss, or staying in the trade, because this candle closure can mean that the price is still going up, so I can accept it. What I can accept is that I exited when a candle was live and was at 3 pips of loss. So I exited live when the candle was full bearish for 3 pips of loss. And it's not what I should do. It's not part of the plan. As you can see, also the next candle went below, never went to my TP, went to my stop loss, and closed bullish. The very next candles were coming to pre-London. Yes, they are moving up. Yes, they will reject this PSA, but by the time I survive this, I should put like the stop loss at 3 pips or even less. So what I didn't like in this first trade of the day was that I didn't follow my rules. I should have either gone out with 1.5 pips or stayed and reduced the risk afterwards, after seeing this price action going up for like 5 pips, 3 pips. Go out either at break even or with this candle closure, not with 3 pips on a live candle completely impulsively. But let's see. Afterwards, what we see during London Open is that the price, yes, goes below, but has a strong bullish movement. So what I saw, or maybe what I wanted to see, was that this candle was making a clean breakout of this PSA. So yes, we're still printing higher lows. Now, I'm not entering here. I'm entering in the next candle. The very next candle, let's see if we see it. No, okay. So the very next candle, at a point, it was exactly like this one. So it made a lower wick, and I was thinking, if it flips bullish, I will enter. So that's why I entered on a live candle that was bullish with a lower wick. It has a nice body, lower wick already done. I entered a live candle here, market order, market execution, no buy, stop, and nothing. And immediately close below my PPL, my zone. So in this case, my zone area of interest reference is this level. So as per my rule, I should exit whenever one single candle closes below. So I should have exited here, but it's sort of like, okay, no, I don't accept that I entered live. It was so bullish and it closed so bearish. And so I stayed in the trade and I got stopped out at full 5 pips of loss instead of 1.7 pips of loss. This is unacceptable because, of course, now we have 3 plus 5, which of course is 3.2, 5.2, instead of 1.7 plus 1.7. The first one was 1.9. And as you can see already, it's 8.4 compared to, let's say, 2 plus 2 instead of 4. It's crazy. It's crazy. And this is 4 pips. This is 8.4 pips. And it's not acceptable to take this bad trade because it was not a candle close, and do not respect my edge. My edge is about risk management. So 2.2, it's absolutely great. Still, this makes an average of 4 pips of loss. It's fine. 2.2, 2 plus 2, it's 2 pips of loss per trade. It's absolutely gorgeous because I know that when I will win 10 pips or 15 pips. So it's absolutely good. I can take 5 losses and 1 win will cover it completely. But most of all, most importantly, these 2 trades set me in a mental state that was not good. So that's why also I left the charts I think like 20 minutes afterwards. And these didn't allow me to take proper trades afterwards. Because as you can see, we have another reaction, because now there is already the trend line. But if we are in the trade, we see that the price is reacting again at this PSA and is very strongly bearish. Okay, so now we are still making higher lows. We are still making higher highs. But you see that the price action is not the cleanest. I mean, look at this. This is not the cleanest trending price action that we want. Like, for example, here, this is a trending, even bullish. This is trending a lot and bigger candles of the trend, not a mess like this, as you can see. So, what we saw was that price action gave another reaction, a rejection. First bounce out of this previous PSA, this is a zone, and we have this nice candle. As you can see, this nice candle is absolutely gorgeous, because now we are reacting again, not even making a new high, and this is a very likely and possible entry for a short side. But of course I was not on the chart because I took a loss. So let's see. The volume kicked in. We were ready for it. We also had this retest of the previous lows. I don't know if now it's going to work from here. We're going to see if a possible entry here would have given us a good trade. Candle not closing above. This one is closing small above. Okay, this trade would have been a loss, but this trade is still live. We already have our partials taken at 10 pips. That goes well, covering the first 2 trades. If it was 2 plus 2, we are already good enough. We have, instead of this, now a reaction here. So we have a strong candle closure here and a bearish one. So we might be still taking another short if we have the consideration another candle. That is nice. Bullish, goes strong, but still react. So in this case, we'll be out at break even after taking 10 pips of profit. Okay. We see another reaction at the PPL, exactly on the dot. We see bearish moves. Let's see if we have candle entry, possible candle entries here. This is now backtesting because I don't know on the 1 minute. I don't remember each and every candle. Let's see if this candle would have been a nice possible entry or if we have to wait a retest. Okay, this one would have not been a good entry. Would have been out with like 3 pips. Okay, at the candle close. Good. And we can have same possible entry over here. Let's see if, no, now the price was completely messing around. We got out with another 2-3 pips loss. and we still have to fight about it. I mean, the trend is still bearish. You can either say, okay, goes either to full stop loss or not, and this trade will still be here. This is something that I will learn with experience. I will still be here because, of course, okay, I see this candle. I'm ready, at this moment, I'm ready to take the full loss or get out, but I don't know. It's something that I will have to understand in the future. Otherwise, I have to fight like 2-3 times if I see it, the price is not moving correctly. But afterwards, it goes, let's see if it goes to 10 pips. Not even, wow. Messy price action during this hour of New York. And I think if I was alive, I would have probably wasted some time. And it's a lesson for me because I don't know, maybe I'm taking this price action, but it's not worth it anymore. Why am I still considering it as a price action? Of course, now we know that there's a trend line that has to be touched again. As you can see, we still have the PPL. So maybe now the very strong price action is the next PPL and we have to wait for it. Whatever happens, happens. Okay, we're coming to pre-New York. We have the first stop of our PSA. And multiple taps, but we see price is wedging against the PPL. So this is either that you place sell stops below these levels, or you wait for manual entries. First one was a fake out, and now very aggressive movement. Again, okay, as you can see, the difference between the gold and euro dollar is that it's not as clean as the another asset. Happens multiple times that the price is just going below, then retracing, then going below, then try many times, and maybe afterwards the trend will stay. So I don't know, maybe possibly in the future I will change my trading plan to say, okay, I give you, I come here, I see this entry, I see this entry, and I give you like 10 pips or 7 or 8 pips. And I will change my rule of exiting at the first candle. I will say, okay, you either go to stop loss or to TP. Maybe I will see that there's a sort of range of safety that allows me to, okay, as long as I see that the price is not breaking, if the price broke above, then of course the trade idea is invalid. And this is one possible the point of going out as soon as the candle closes, because you take a lot of losses and the commissions add up. So it's very important. I mean, this is a very good, the candle is breaking below. Let's go back here. The only thing is, still look how small are the candles. So we are here and we are not seeing aggressive candles. Look, small candle, very small candle. So even for a break and retest, if the candle closed below, maybe yes, would have been an entry. Possibly there's not enough volume. I'm a scalper, I need volume to enter. So look at these candles. So maybe waiting for better times, it's a proper way. Look at now, this candle is very good. As if I am looking at it, maybe I can place a sell limit over here to get the best price. But if the price goes bullish here, am I still happy that the price, I'm still saying that the price will go down? Yes, I have a lot of range because the price can even go here, retest it, and not close above my PPL and I still have this full range to go out first. But if it goes like this, am I happy? As you can see, it's very, very difficult. Now this is a decision. Do I want to accept it or not? As you can see, the trade is not going immediately in my direction. As you can see, now is it going back again? When do you go out? When? It's about price level, it's about pips of losses, it's about what? Because now, even if you go out here, this candle is giving you a chance of entry. But now you get out here. So now what? When do you enter? When is the right time? Maybe it's just, okay, let me wait for New York and that's it. Okay, let's see, New York open in 2 minutes. And it's gone already. So now what? When do you enter? Do you enter here? Why is this time good? Why is this time good? Is this time good because the previous candles are much bigger? Possibly, yes. Look at the difference between these candles and these candles. I think it's just about volume and having the right timing. Because if you enter here, you see, you're still live. You see this candle. If you see this candle after the price is failing to make new highs again, and you place the sell limit halfway, you have this as a sort of reference, you can place it there or there, but you also have this key level, but it's not being respected much. So you place it there. Okay, it's not going immediately in your direction, but you don't have the candle, not a single candle is closing above. And afterwards you go to TP. I don't know. It's difficult, but of course now, as you can see, we have these candles set up here. You look at the size of the candles now. You have this as a PSA, the last low. You see that the price is reacting. There's a possible chance of entering here in the same trend after seeing that the price is moving very strong and goes to final TP. Even here is a good entry. Even if you have, for example, if you have, see this very candle, you replace a sell limit over here. Do you go out just because this candle, I mean, is 1.4? Now you exit at 1.4 and the price goes there. You see how smart I was. You don't exit and you see this candle closing immediately below. You paid commission and maybe you are not fresh to enter here. And this candle again proves you that the trend is bearish. So this is very, very different from gold. It's much less clean and it's something that I have to take into consideration. And this was, I was not on the chart, but look how trendy the price is. You can make this money, 25 pips in half an hour, 15 minutes, compared to trying to fight the price here. Look at this difference. Look at the difference. This is not worth it. Absolutely not worth it. Instead of this price, trendy price. And here, let's go. You see price reacting and bouncing from the PPL, but still failing to make. I mean, at this moment, we are making and breaking the last lower high. We are bouncing, but we are still rejecting this previous PSA. So now we're looking for some entries below the PPL. Okay, we see that the price is still compressing and we have this aggressive movement. The very first candle can also be the catalyst of a sell limit entry, manual entry. Here, as you can see, price never goes above your PPL, but also, and this is why also this was already here. Look, we already have this previous low and we have this very strong candle. This is very clean with a possible entry with the sell limit. And there you go. This is the perfect trade. Goes straight away in your direction. Why? Because you are in a volume time and the candles are strong and if the price is trending, is already trending and not trying to catch a price at the first sign of trend. And as you can see, goes to TP, breaks below this previous PSA, has a retest, again retesting exactly these previous lows. And this is where I actually entered. So I got my 5 pips of profit after missing out this all move. I was seeing, okay, if the price, I already had the charted here. If the price goes this, I will enter. It was like this. And I took exactly this entry at the candle close. And here went straight in my direction. I took 2 losses today. So this was the third trade. And I did something that I should have not done. This was taking half of the position out at 10 and 5 pips. This is 5 pips, guys. Okay. At here at 4.6 pips, I took out half of my position and set the rest at break even. It was a good idea because the price went straight against me. So it was a good idea, a good intuition, but it was not part of the plan. But I'm happy that I took the partials at the perfect time. Then I left the chart, as you know. Price gave another retest of the trend line that was already there from 1 and 2. Perfect retest. And of course, we are taking entries or looking for entries below this level. Here, what happened? What happens? The same. Place the sell limit halfway from the PPL and the candle close and gets activated. The trend goes straight in your direction. Almost 10 pips, almost. But this is where you can even take your partials manually. I mean, if you don't, you go straight away to your TP again. And as you can see, where it's very important to understand, okay, here we are reacting. So this is also possible another re-entry. So you already have this one going either partials and break even, so you don't care. You don't care anymore. You can take this partial as 9.8, it's fine, but you don't care about this trade anymore. So it's like it doesn't exist. So let's go back. And you are here. Of course, now it's in insight, but you have this. You don't have this one. It's not already charted. It's at the previous lows, but you're not charting every previous low on your chart. So there you go. You see this candle is reacting and getting rejected from the level. So you start saying, okay, is this rejection happening randomly? Like here. These candles are reacting randomly. They are not reacting at a specific level. This candle is reacting at a specific level. Reacted here, reacted also this candle previously reacted here. And you say, okay, let's stay a little bit on, let's stay properly, what's the word? focused. Okay, now this candle is closing bearish. Am I willing to risk at the same trade, same bias? Am I willing to risk 3 to 4 pips? Because if the candle closes above here, we are out. I think yes. I've seen it many times. This is a manual entry after this bearish candle close. This first bullish week candle is your signal of being focused. This is your confirmation of entry. And the price goes straight in your direction. You have some rejection here at your PSA. Of course, we are still 5 pips. It's up to you, but the bias is strong. And it was expected some reaction over here. When the price closes below, you are safer, much safer. And you're not here, you don't have the partials for sure. Yeah, it's up to you if you take them manually like I did, because I guess that we are going back here. As you can see, another reaction. So you are still in because the price is not closing above. So this is another confirmation of entry. It's a very good candle. This one here. Another reaction and top of the PPL and another bounce. But still, you see that the pressure is still bearish here. This candle is not going up. The price never went above. So that's a very good confirmation and very strong say, okay, I'm still good in this trade. I'm not risking. You take partials and it goes, I think, almost good to your entry, to your TP. As you can see, you go to TP. And this is right now at 5. And the price is going bearish, keeps going bearish. And break and retest. This one is possibly another entry. Here. We don't know if it is going to go to profit or not. The point is, this is another thing that I have to understand. Do we take shorts when the price is making higher lows? One higher low. The point is, we have this bullish candle that is closing at the PPL and is your focus. Now you have this bullish candle that closes bearish after leaving this week, after rejecting this PSA. For now, we are still in a 6, 10 pips would be here. Let's see, now it's very impulsively. As you can see, the volume is still in after London close. Let's see if it goes to our TP. You can either think and take partials here, because you know that the price is possible to react over there. You take your 8 pips partials, let the rest run 3 pips, 2 pips, and you are fine, absolutely fine. Okay, very, very nice. Look, compare these hours. These are 2 hours and a half. Compare from the New York open here. Compare the price action to what I was trading in London. Is the same? Nope. That's when you want to trade. Look how red is the screen compared to how blue was the screen here. Not the same. It's not bullish. Not strongly bullish. I have to stop taking this impulsive trade. So, as a recap of today, 3 trades. First was a buy, was 3 pips loss. Second was a buy, was 5 pips loss. Commissions on top of that. Sell, 5 pips, 4.6 pips taken partial, and the rest at break even, but still commission. So today we close still in negative, but every day we learn something, and we are learning not to trade London session if it's not volume. And as you can see, it's not. As you can see, this one is in partials, I think, or not yet. Yeah, not yet. You can take them manually. As you can see here, 10 pips is there. Pretty similar, same bias. That's the key point. We're not taking a trade randomly, like I did. It's not that the trend is like this and you take the sell. It's because the price is going bearish, and this is actually our PSA, and we expect price to move at least these 10 pips, at least here, to make a double bottom. If he wants to reverse and go up, that's fine, but it's high probability that after this we can have profitable trade with this trend, with this volume. And that's it, guys. Very long video, 46 minutes, but I had to cover everything. So see you tomorrow, guys.